XRP, we start with monthly chart. Just I want to give a quick update. And first of all, if you refer to my last analysis, since the price was within this correction, we discussed how we can look for trade, and we mentioned for this year we are looking for buy. Anyway, there was no update for the last 2 months, and no one see what's the next. Okay, no, we discussed about this correction, whether we should expect for the next drop before we take the reversal, before we look for buy and we look for the reversal, or we can look for trade if we see any opportunity for buy and if we see any reversal from here. Okay, and right now what I want to see is that the best option if you want to look for buy is that if we get the next drop before we take the next trade, before we see the reversal. But at this point, even I mentioned in my last analysis, even when the price was within here, I mentioned we don't need for the price, we don't need for next drop before we take the next trade. Okay, that's why I mentioned if you get any opportunity for buy within this range, we will take it. Okay, and right now, even at this point, what I want to say is that this is the best option, but we don't need to wait for that. Especially at this point, we see the reversal for the Bitcoin and ETH because they keep they maintain the uptrend at this point since last month. Okay, that's why if we get any opportunity for buy from here, we will take it. And the reason I'm highlighting for the next drop is that because of the problem between the case between this EC and XRP, the possibility for the next drop is very high. That's why for those traders, if they want to look for buy, they should know how to manage it, especially for those traders if they're using their leverage. Okay, again, we don't need to wait for the next drop. If we get any opportunity for buy, we will take it, but we should know how to manage it. All right, and even if you refer to my last analysis when the price was within here, I mentioned if we get any opportunity for buy, we'll take it. Then we want to see whether the price can break the previous top or not, and this is what we get. Okay, and as we can see exactly the price tag, there was no breakout. No, the question is again whether this is the flat for the next drop before we look for the reversal, or we can expect for price continue from here. This is the best option, but we don't need, for me, I will not wait for that option. If I get any opportunity for buy from here, I will take it, but I want to see the breakout of the stop, the previous stop. Right, but at this point we don't see any trade setup, and we prefer to see the DP correction based on lower time frame before we take the next trade. Okay, that's mean we have to wait at this point. And if I move to lower time frame, daily chart, again, if you refer to my last analysis when the price was within here, we discussed how we can look for buy, and we wanted to see the breakout of the previous top, and this is what we get. Now, what should we do? As I mentioned, if we get any opportunity for buy, we'll take it. But at this point, even based on daily chart, I don't see any trade setup for buy. And if we see the next drop, if this one turned to flat, then we will take the trade. Okay, but if the price continue from here, we have to see the breakout of this top following by deeper correction before we take the trade based on daily chart. Okay, but at this point, as I say, there is no opportunity. We don't have any opportunity for buy. Having an entry above the stop is very risky. We cannot call it a trade setup. And if I move to lower time frame, all right, similar explanation as what we discussed based on lower time frame. Based on daily chart. Even based on forward chart, I prefer for the next drop at least the price tag this low before we take the next trade. But if we see that this one tend to flag either based on forward or 1 hour chart, that's mean the price give us a deeper correction from here, then we can expect, we can put our entry above the top. But at this point, I don't suggest that. That's mean we have to wait. All right. And if I move to lower time frame, 1 hour chart, similar explanation. All right. No, the question is, can we expect this one turn to flat by having entry? Sorry, can we consider this one as a flat? Then we put our entry above here. We can. All right. But how about if we see one move drop similar to what we had here? Okay. That's why if anyone want to put the entry above here, if the price tag within the first hour, if we see there is no continuation, we should take out the trade. Okay, but as I mentioned, we have to wait, and in this case we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. And for me, if I want to look for buy from here, either we see the one more drop before we take the next trade, or this one turn to deeper correction, then we can put the entry above the top. All right, that's mean at this point we have to wait. In this case, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.